Our 12 News Storm Trackers coming on the air right now as we track new tornado warnings going up for parts of southeast Texas. Parts of Tyler, Jasper, and Newton counties just now being issued as part of this tornado warning. Let's get straight to Patrick.
Yeah, that cell is just to the northwest of Newton. Lots of lightning with this heading to the east at 45 miles an hour. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for all of northern sections of Jasper and Newton counties. We've been watching this cell as it came out of Tyler County, and there's been good rotation with it since it moved through Spurger and Fred. Again, moving towards the east and northeast at about 45 miles an hour. Looks like it's just to the northwest of Buna, somewhere in this location right there where you see the circulation. Again, let me give you a track on that. It's moving east and northeast at 45 miles an hour. This is radar detected. If you don't see a tornado, then you're going to see damaging winds at the very least at 60 miles an hour, and the potential for also damaging hail, maybe an inch in diameter if that tornado does indeed materialize. Again, this cell moving to the east and northeast at about 45 miles an hour. And we'll put a track on it. And let's say right in this area, moving towards Squall, if it continues at 45 miles an hour, could be at Squall, if this is correct, at 7:46 p.m., if not sooner. Again, moving very quickly to the east-northeast at 45 miles an hour. Again, if you're just joining us, a tornado warning in effect until 8 p.m. For it looks like mainly central sections of Jasper and Newton counties, and it looks like it's just to the southwest of Squall. Let's give you a track on that. It is to the about 7 miles to the southwest, west-southwest of Squall. Jordan?
All right, as you watch that, again, we've got tornado warnings for now parts of Tyler, Jasper, and Newton counties. Patrick's tracking this storm. He's looking right now at the winds. You know, we're so used to seeing the traditional radar display, Doppler, what you're seeing right there now. And you can see this now tornadic storm. This is Doppler indicated, so there's been no report of a tornado on the ground. But if you're in places like Squall, as Patrick's tracking here, this would be the time for you to move to a safe spot away from windows, perhaps into a bathroom. You want to get away from any places where there could be flying glass or anything like that. And you can see we've got the polygons up on the screen. We'll zoom in so you can see those a bit better right now. Again, this tornado warning impacts parts of Tyler, Jasper, and Newton counties. Patrick, switching back to the traditional radar display that we're so used to looking at. Patrick, what about this storm impresses you? You were telling me you've been looking at it for the past 30 or 40 minutes here.
It's been the wind. This came through Fred and Spurger within the last 15 minutes, and it's just a line of strong winds. But when you see this green right next to the red, there is indications of at least strong winds out of this. But this particular signature, we're trained as meteorologists to look for particular signatures on radar, and this particular signature indicates that there is a rotation with this cell as it continues to move off to the east-northeast at, let's see, 45 miles an hour. Again, this is until 8 p.m. It's just to the northwest of Buna, as you can see. And let me go to a different radar source. Let me see if I got Fort Polk on there. I do have Fort Polk on there. So again, if there is a tornado, let me take off these shear markers, and you'll be able to see a little cleaner track here. And nope, don't want to do that. But what we're looking at is the potential for rotation out of this just to the west and southwest of Squall. Let me show you. This is basically showing rotation. These winds are doing this. That is the telltale sign of rotation within that particular cell.
And any idea whether this rotation is making it all the way to the ground?
Let's see, let me go to a different source and clean this up for you. Let's look at one other. We can look at different types of let's see, pretty good chance that there is a tornado in this. Let's see, one other. I'm looking at different frequencies of radar. Definitely some turbulence in there, no doubt about that. Let me see. No doubt that there is hail with this. Kind of hard to make out if there's a debris ball on this.
Okay.
But right now, definite signature of rotation in this.
Folks, if you're watching us on our Facebook stream or on air on KJAC or KBMT ABC, we've interrupted programming right now because we have 3 Southeast Texas counties, as you can see on your screen. Parts of Tyler, Jasper, and Newton counties now under a tornado warning that runs right until the top of the hour, so we're going to stay with you until the threat subsides. Again, if you're away from your TV, we're also streaming right now on Facebook and likely on our 12 News Now app as well. Patrick's watching this area. Patrick, we're getting a lot of questions on Facebook right now about your thoughts about whether this particular line of storms is going to impact, say, the Triangle later this evening.
No.
Not this storm, for sure.
Not this storm, no.
Okay. Patrick's been talking about the chances of a squall line materializing, and if that happens around here in the Triangle, we'd be talking 10, 11, midnight before it would get to our part of the area.
The part of it. Okay, let me just show you what's going on. We're watching Central Texas, and here's the key. Oh, let me stop this. Is that okay? There you go. We're feeling a little more confident now that. We may be getting a squall line. You can see off towards our southwest of south of San Antonio. This may be the beginning of a squall line, and this would be the chance for the Triangle. I've been showing all night tonight how the different high-res models have been doing well up towards the lakes area. It's just, do we get a secondary or that squall line to move in to the Triangle? This particular one, our model does not show that. This different model, again, doing a good job showing showers and storms up in the lakes area, but so far nothing in the Triangle. Well, if that squall line continues to strengthen, this second model shows it moving on into the Triangle, and that would bring us the chance of damaging winds and hail late tonight, 11, 12 o'clock. So which model is correct? Well, based on what we're seeing right now into Central Texas off towards our southwest, we're going to have to watch this area of thunderstorm activity, as you can see, off towards our south and west. And that may be the second model is doing a better job of picking that up. Yes.
Patrick, getting a lot of questions, and we want to maybe go back to the radar and show folks where you specifically think the tornadic portion of this storm is, because people are seeing on the screen Tyler, Jasper, Newton counties, and I believe people are wondering, is it the entire part of the county, et cetera?
No. What it is, southeastern Tyler County, you are out of this. It is mainly in through central sections. It's going to go between Buna and Kirbyville.
Between Buna and Kirbyville.
Yeah, as it moves off to the east and northeast at about 45 miles an hour. So again, it's somewhere in this vicinity heading off to the east-northeast. I believe that's over towards Old Salem, maybe they're up on Highway 87, a little closer. Yep, that's where it's headed.
What about the city of Jasper? They're fine?
Yeah, Jasper's fine. It's south of Jasper and basically north of Buna. But again,
people in Silsbee are fine at this point. Lumberton, you're good?
Lumberton, Silsbee, you're all fine, north and northeast of you. It's this area. It does not look as pronounced as far as the rotation aspects as it just did a few minutes ago. This is looking more like a severe wind event as far as this goes. So this may be dropped early. We'll see how this fans out. But again, at the very least, you see the green right there, Jordan?
Yes, sir.
That is almost in a line like this. That is what we call a bowing segment or a bow echo. So if you think about it, it kind of looks like a bow. So then it's the arrow that you got to watch.
Right.
Because that's where the strongest winds and winds are going to be located. So around Call, maybe Old Salem, those are the places that are going to have to be watched and inspected as we go through the next few minutes.
So basically the Highway 96 corridor between Buna and Kirbyville.
Correct.
Again, if you're watching right now on television, on KJAC, KBMT, ABC, or on our 12 News stream, or on Facebook right now, and I'm seeing a lot of your questions. We appreciate all the feedback. That's some of the questions I'm trying to pose to Patrick about specific areas. Christina in Kirbyville wants to know, are they safe?
Kirbyville, let's see. I believe so. I would expect damaging winds, though, at the very least out of this.
Okay.
Again, the worst of it looks like around Call Junction, back over maybe towards Salem and Trout Creek over the next 20 to 30 minutes.
And again, we're not used to seeing this particular display. The Doppler winds are what meteorologists like Patrick look at to be able to see whether the winds are going toward the radar site or away. And in this case, when we talk about rotating thunderstorms, that's where you get the damage. And so, do you mind switching back quickly just to show everybody the radar?
Let me put this off. Let's see, on this track, that would bring it over towards Trout Creek at 752. And back over towards Salem, Call at 747, Trout Creek at 752, and Old Salem at 753. Let's go back to conventional radar, what you're used to. This is interesting. Let me go back to radar.
Okay.
And just looking at the signature, this area right here is definitely going to have hail in it, no doubt about that. This is probably inflow just to the southeast of Call. That's inflow into the storm, so definitely rotating right in this area right here. That's what we're going to be watching, just maybe south of Call.
Folks, as we mentioned, we are on the air and online right now broadcasting, giving you the latest on these tornado warnings for Tyler, Jasper, and Newton counties. Patrick tracking the rotation. That's what you're looking at, our Storm Tracker Doppler winds mode at this point. And those little swirls are the areas where the radar is indicating that there could be rotation. Looks like we have certainly some new warning just coming in.
Yeah, it looks like a severe thunderstorm warning until 8:45. That will include Kirbyville and Mauriceville, Newton, and that's until 8:45. That is likely for damaging winds of 60 miles an hour in this particular cell up towards Newton. This is Newton, Call back over towards Mauriceville, and that's for probably damaging winds because of this activity right there.
All right. Patrick, do let the control room know if you'd like to go back to regular programming, and we certainly can continue online.
Let's continue this just a few more minutes.
A couple more minutes? Okay.
Yeah. This is, if there's not a tornado, at the very least, you're going to have some wind gusts 60 miles an hour without a doubt. This is just to the south, really over towards Call, is probably really getting it hit hard right now as far as the potential for rotation. If there's going to be a tornado, it would be pretty close to Call right there.
Understood.
But again, that whole green-red line, that interface between them, you can see that. This is going to be damaging winds right along this line right there. So that's headed towards Salem, Trout Creek, Call, Kirbyville. This activity heading off towards the east and northeast.
We like to remind everybody, if you're in the Call area and certainly within the tornado warned zone, this is not the time to be outside checking the clouds. I would be away from windows and moving to a safe spot in your house. And boy, as Patrick flips over to the traditional radar display here, you can see all of the lightning strikes with this severe storm, which is rapidly moving off to the east and northeast. He's going to zoom in and again, putting the track on this. What is that? Close to 100 lightning strikes?
800 lightning strikes in the last 15 minutes, I believe.
That is incredible. Power outage is no doubt a possibility as well when you get that much lightning going on.
When you have wind and lightning like that, that is certainly a power outage city. So again, there's your tornado warning and severe thunderstorm warnings.
When you have a second, once we kind of regroup, some of our Facebook viewers, Patrick, want you to kind of talk about what constitutes a squall line and why this is not part of a squall line and you're worried about one later.
Yeah. When you are looking for tornadoes, you want to look for what we call discrete cells or individualized cells or lone cells or Boeing echoes.
So is this a discrete one?
This is more of a discrete. See how it's by itself? Now when we get a line, I won't say I'll say that will decrease the threat for tornadoes and increase the risk for damaging winds and hail. And that's what we're going to be watching for the triangle later on tonight as we continue to watch that activity off towards our southwest. See all that? That's what we're going to be watching for this to move on up the coastline, up towards the north and east towards Houston as maybe a possible line later tonight. That's what was so difficult about this forecast today is I didn't know which model to go with. I didn't know which one was right. You know, we haven't seen much of anything here in the Triangle. It's all been north of the Triangle into the lakes. Nada. Groves, Sour Lake, I hear you. I know you want to know if we're going to see it here in Winnie or Port Arthur.
Right.
The problem is that I had two different models saying two different things. Yeah, they were doing a great job of showing the showers and the thunderstorms. That's a given up towards the lakes area. Excuse me. It's what is going to happen with this activity off towards our southwest. That's what the part of the uncertainty. That's becoming a little more clear now that if this holds together, then that squall line with the second model is doing a better job than the first one that I showed earlier.
Okay, we're going to stay on the air just a couple more minutes here. We do have that tornado warning that continues until the top of the hour for Tyler, Jasper, and Newton counties. A severe thunderstorm warning that continues for parts of that same area that runs just a bit longer. This is a rapidly evolving situation. We're on the air because the Doppler radar and the folks at the National Weather Service indicated that they were seeing rotation detected within the storm. There have been no ground reports of anyone actually seeing a tornado at this point. We want to underscore that, Patrick.
Yeah, and this is looking like this could be possibly dropped as far as the tornado warning. Yeah, there's rotation, but I don't see the tightening of that rotation like I did earlier.
Okay.
It's looking more like a straight line wind event, if anything, right now. So again, you see how that green and red come together? This is going to be a kind of a gust front, if you will. And that is what we're seeing, a bowing. Think of it as I showed just a second ago, a bow and arrow heading right towards Old Salem. Old Salem, you could have power outages, you could have some trees coming down, winds of 50, 60 miles an hour, maybe higher as this continues to head towards Old Salem and maybe just south of Trout Creek at the present time. Strong winds and call is what we're seeing on Doppler radar. Let me see if hail is an issue at this time. Switching gears and looking at the potential for damaging hail as I pull this up and move it. Oh, without a doubt, this is damaging hail. And that is right north of that, what I was just showing. This is a supercell between Bleakwood and, say, Trout Creek and north of Salem. This is without a doubt.
That's a good hail core. What size hail are you looking at there?
Let's see what this particular algorithm is showing. Oh, here we go. Damaging hail. Let's see. This is saying, let's go with the highest reflectivity, 1.3 inch size hail. Over 1 inch size hail.
That's about golf ball size, potentially?
Greater
right?
than golf ball, yes.
Bigger than golf balls. All right, so that's why we've got the warnings with this particular supercell storm. Again, this is ahead of what could be a squall line that might affect all of us later this evening. Patrick, are you good going back to regular programming at this point?
Let's see. Just a second. Getting new data. Again, see that pink, Jordan? Just between Bleakwood and Trout Creek. Without a doubt, this is the damaging hail right there. That is a hail core, and let me do this. Let's do a scan of it and see how tall this cell is. Oh, without a doubt. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen something like this in a while. This is 20,000. Let's see. Apologize. Let's see. Hail suspended aloft without a doubt. So no doubt that this is producing hail, damaging hail. And that cell is up to, 40,000 foot tops right now. Okay, so they have shaved part of west central Jasper County off. So it's basically from Buna to near Kirbyville, moving off to the east. And it's because of this bowing wind segment right here. So I believe, I won't say we've canceled it, and I'm not going to do that. I don't want to give the all clear. But this is without a doubt damaging hail and damaging winds of at least 60 miles an hour.
All right, so likely just a severe thunderstorm. We don't want to diminish that for those of you who are getting hit by it right now. But with that being said, we're going to wrap up our programming on KBMT and KJAC right now. Our 12 News Storm Trackers will be back on the air as conditions warrant. We are going to continue our Facebook live stream, so give us just a second if you're watching us on Facebook. And we do want to remind you, you've got to stay safe in these severe weather events. But once the storm is passed and you and your family are safe, if you have photos of any weather-related damage, some of that hail that we're seeing right now, there's an easy way for you to send it to us. If you see breaking news, you can send it through your phone. Just go straight to your camera roll and click Share with Us and send it through our 12 News Now app. Again, we'll be back on the air as conditions warrant. For Patrick Vaughn, I'm Jordan Williams. Stay safe.